Well, here we are in the miracle sessions today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here and participating in it and being present in it. So this is our healing circle. This is where we come together to celebrate our new discovery. And so there's a lot to discover today too. And amazingly incredible material is given to us from out of time, directly in our lap, so to speak, and in our ears, in our hearts. And so today that's what we're going to celebrate. And so in order to be able to do that, it's always good to relax and to let go of what you think is so important and what you think that you should do and what you think that you need to do after this or just have done, or any kind of thing that you can connect to a person, a situation or an event. You can let go of all of it. And that's really the, say, meditative part of this coming together of us. So it's, you know the practice. You know how to do this. You know to apply this. And also you know the benefit of it. And that is creating a space where actually you come into a different awareness of yourself. And coming in touch with a forgiven world instead of a world in which you are still attacking and are defending and are doing all kinds of stuff. So today we're really going to connect with this forgiven world. And we do this by using chapter 17, a part of it, section C. And totally lovely. So totally lovely. We're going to use that. And to start and lift ourselves up even right from the start, I'm going to read a couple of lessons of the review of the first 50 lessons that are also related to how you see the world, how you see yourself, and how you see so-called others. And so I'm going to start off with doing that. So sit back and relax and listen to this. I'm upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I've replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I've given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I'm always upset by nothing. I'm always upset by nothing. So there's no exception to that either, sorry. I'm always upset by nothing. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon, and I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies, and I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I'm trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing I am giving up nothing. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. And I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see or not. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I've chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts. Yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear because I'm acknowledging that it does not exist. God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning, and everything that is real is in His mind. It is in my mind too, because He created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I'm seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts, and I'm not allowing my real thoughts to cast a beneficent light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I've made cannot prevail against Him because it is not my will that they do so. My will is His, and I will place no other gods before Him. My thoughts are images that I have made. Okay, so this is our, a little bit of exercise. A little bit of exercise to make sure that we don't hold on to anything. And one other thing that came to mind was this, is like, okay, so chaos has no laws, but we're actually by say observing and also analyzing the dream, we're actually trying to formulate laws in chaos. We're looking for it all the time. You have these real genius persons that think that they can decipher like a formulation of chaos, like give a formula of chaos. And they don't end up too well. And that's the same with you. If you try to discover the laws that are working, apparently, that seem to be working in this world, as to, okay, when I do this, that leads to that. When I do this, it leads to that. Like you make your equations of chaos, basically, because, and we'll come back to that another time. It's like the laws of chaos. In chaos, there is no law, but you believe certain laws and think that they are at work here. And because you believe that, you can also see that. Like you make it real, literally, with observing it yourself. So that's why it's good to let that go. And so one other consideration that came up was this. I see the thing with when you read these reviews is that you think like, how am I going to do this? Like, how ever can I get myself out of this? There must be a way for me to get out of this. And then it's like, well, this is exactly what I mean. You are not able to think yourself out of your dream. Like, it's impossible to do it that way. So you also can stop doing that. So that's important. It saves you a lot of time and effort. You don't have to do that because it's not going to work in any kind of way. See, the thing is what you discover, and you probably recognize it when I share it too, is like, see, the thing is that you're still attached to using your mind, like your human mind, as a tool for fixing something in the dream, for making something better in the dream. And you really think that's the only device at work here. And that's a lonely place. That's not really going to be very nice for yourself to try to figure it out yourself, how to get out of this mess or out of this constriction, basically. So that's interesting to see that you think that while we just read a couple of these lessons. That's always amazing. And I know, because I read the book so many times, but I also had all these considerations once. It's like, oh, it seems like hopeless to get out of this. Like, how am I supposed to do this? That's a very normal thought as a human being, because you're not able to do it. So you have to forgive yourself, and also to see that there's something else at work here. So the undoing is the part that you're engaging in. The rest is going to be given. See, and you cannot undo your own mind either. So it's more like you practice this, you let it go. You drop it. It's like, no, I don't need that. I don't have to do it this way. I can let it go. No, it's not going to be solved by me trying to solve it. And it's not going to change by me thinking a little different about it. That's not how it changes. And so otherwise you keep repeating the same thing, and you keep creating another dream that you like better, but still in a dream structure. It's like, no, you want all of it. You want to awaken completely out of this. You want to let the dream for what it is and see that something else is what you are. That has nothing to do with this dream whatsoever. With this world that you created, with this dream that you created, with all these shadowy figures in it. We come to that the next time, like shadow figures, shadows of the past. So now, today, we're looking at the idea of the forgiven world. Like, how am I supposed to do that? To forgive the world? That seems like an incredible assignment too, to forgive the world, because there's so many things happening that are so not in alignment with the love of God, so to speak. And as soon as you turn on your television, you get depressed. It's like, there's no way out of this. How can I do this? It's impossible. So a little help would be absolutely welcome. Yeah. So that's why we got this chapter, and chapter 17. Forgiveness and healing, and the forgiven world is what we're going to use. So I'll read the first paragraph. So that's like our little introduction to this part of the chapter. So chapter 17c is it then. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely. Nothing you see here, sleeping or waking, comes near to such loveliness, and nothing will you value like unto this, nor hold so dear. Nothing that you remember, that make your heart seem to sing with joy, has ever brought you even a little part of the happiness this sight will bring to you. For you will see the Son of God. You will behold the beauty that the Holy Spirit loves to look upon, and that he thanks the Father for. He was created to see this for you, until you learn to see it for yourself. And all his teaching leads to seeing it and giving thanks with it, with him. So can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? It's like, okay, so you were in love, you are in love. You see someone that you think like, oh my God, I can't believe it. How lovely. It's like unbelievably lovely is this person to me. I cannot believe it. So this is your version, like your human version of falling in love with someone. And this, what is being presented here is like not even comparable to it. It's like so lovely that you don't know what to do with yourself. So this is continuously presented, basically, but in everything that's the text is giving. It's presented to you all the time. And it's so hard to hear it. And actually not so hard, but it's like there's such like resistance to falling into this that you feel it immediately when I share this, when I read this, when I give this to you. Like, you cannot imagine how nice it would be to give up your defenses, to actually experience this and completely fall in a total sense of love in which you don't know what to do with yourself. And know that you're completely connected to every aspect of creation. Like a real revelation of love. So this is being presented in the forgiven world. Just imagine how lovely that would be. So the training that we're doing, the training that we're in, does not even have that as a goal. So the training that we're in by the Course in Miracles is to achieve peace of mind, which is also incredibly great. But this is also something that's being offered to you, and you can experience whenever you want it. You can ask for it and be open to receive it. Because you want to know exactly what it is. By me sharing this with you, it's just a little of it. It's just an introduction to it. But to go into that and to say, let go of your defenses against it, and feeling that that you literally completely disappear into the heart of God is what the offering is. So this is where we hang out today. This is where we are like getting ourselves familiar with here. So there are certain instructions given too, in how do you end up coming to that place? How do you actually get in touch with that? Coming from my humanness, coming from my ideas, coming from my own spiritual awakening path, seeing that there's always more to dive deeply into, and seeing that basically it's all going deeper into your sense of love, loveliness, love, being open to receive it, and also not caring about what it will do with you, what it will disturb, or whatever is going to happen by doing that. So I'll read another paragraph because it's really lovely. This loveliness, this is second paragraph, this loveliness is not a fantasy. It is the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. Nothing is hidden here, for everything has been forgiven, and there are no fantasies to hide the truth. The bridge between that world and this is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe it is the meeting place of worlds so different. Yet this little bridge is the strongest thing that touches on this world at all. This little step, so small, it has escaped your notice. It is a stride through time into eternity, and beyond all ugliness into beauty that will enchant you, and will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection. Okay, so that's a beautiful shower, so to speak. That's a beautiful description, invitation. I always call it invitation because it's like, these steps are not so big. You can make them. It's not difficult. It's little. It's easy, and yet it seems to be so far away. At some points of your life, some moments that you're in, nothing is hidden there. It's sparkling under the open sun, bright, clean, and new. It's not a fantasy. It just has escaped your notice. See, but not anymore, because now you have this in your memory again, like firmly in your memory again, that there is such a place. Like this really can be your goal to achieve, to enter into this, to be so open and so receptive that you want to see that. You want to see the forgiven world, and you would do anything to get there. So you slip from time into eternity. All your ideas are gone suddenly. They dissolve into the nothingness where they came from. That's one part of it. It's like such a little step, it's so easy. It's so close to where you find yourself, and you will love it so much. I'm curious about the next paragraph. This step, the smallest ever taken by anything, is still the greatest accomplishment of all in God's plan of atonement. All else is learned, but this is given, complete and wholly perfect. No one but Him who planned salvation could complete it thus. The real world, in its loveliness, you learn to reach. Fantasies are undone. No one and nothing remains still bound by them, and by your own forgiveness you are free too, to see. And what you see is only what you have made, with the blessings of your forgiveness on it. And with this final blessing of God's Son upon Himself, the real perception, born of the new perspective He has learned, has served its purpose. Okay, so continuing on, this is so lovely. The stars will disappear in light, and the sun, which opened up the world to beauty, will vanish. Perception will be meaningless when it has been perfected, for everything that has been used for learning will not have a function. Nothing will ever change, no shifts, nor shadings, no differences, no variations that made perception possible will occur. the perception of the real world will be so short that you will barely have time to thank God for it. For God will take the last step swiftly, and when you have reached the real world and have been made ready for Him. Okay, so now you know everything about it, at least in your conception of what this is, in your ideas about what this could be. So that's what that's what you have now. So are you getting curious about how to attain all of this and how to get this closer? Because that will be in this paragraph too. So it's like, well, it's amazing. Chapter 17. It's like just reading this is like everything is being offered again. And that makes it also like so, it's such one story basically. There's just one invitation for you waiting no matter what you are reading. Like the same is what we read in this little booklet, you know, about the lessons of about seeing, about letting go of what you think you see, and all of that, you know. So this is all integrated into a masterpiece that actually can take you out of your constriction, out of your labyrinth that you got caught up in, and try to figure out how to get to the exit. So I love it that in this section is all of it. So I'm continuing reading because I'm just too curious what it will say now. You know, it's like how to get here. This is what you want to know. The real world is attained simply by the complete forgiveness of the old. The world you see without forgiveness, the great transformer of perception will undertake with you the careful searching of the mind that made this world, and uncover to you the seeming reasons for your making it. In the light of the real reason that he brings, as you follow him, he will show you that there is no reason at all. Each spot his reason touches grows alive with beauty, and what seemed ugly in the darkness of your lack of reason is suddenly released to loveliness. Not even what the Son of God made in insanity could be without a spark of beauty, without a hidden spark of beauty that gentleness could release. The real world is attained simply by the complete forgiveness of the old. The world you see without forgiveness, the great transformer of perception will undertake with you the careful searching of the mind that made this world, and uncover to you the seeming reasons for your making it. In the light of the real reason that he brings, as you follow him, he will show you that there was no reason at all. So that's really great too. Like that's pretty wild. So we're on this path. We're using this for our awakening, and that is like you stick with this practice, you do this, you remember this, you review this, you allow a new perception to come to you, and you will see everything in a new light. And it's like you get great help along this way, along the way of awakening. You get great help. That's why this is a possibility to you. There would be no and it says too, it's like you're going to discover the seeming reasons for anything to occur. You're always looking for reasons. Why did this happen this way? Why is it looking that way? What was the reason that this was happening to me? Or why did I need to do this? You fill in the blanks. Like why did I need to do this? So you're looking for reasons why things occurred. And so in the end, you will see, it will literally be shown to you that there was no reason at all for it. There was no reason for it. But you had to go through it in order to discover that. And that is what we say practice and see all the time. It's like, oh yes, for no reason. Literally, this happened for no reason. I thought sickness came because of this and this and this, or I thought that this occurrence had something to do with the fact that I was not so nice to that person. Or, you come up with all kinds of stories to literally knit a story out of it. But there was no reason for it. And at the same time you discover too, it is already over. So there was no reason for it. There's also no reason for you to repair it in that sense. Because it is already over. So in this comes back, like the invitation is then to see a completely forgiven world. And that forgiven world is literally there by you not holding on to any of the ideas and seeing that there's no lack in this present moment that we can enter into in order to see what has been given to us. So that is I say, except for two paragraphs that I'm still going to read, because I love to read all of it to make the story complete, so to speak, to see that the offering is complete in itself, and that this literally can be taken, this can be your instruction, because it actually means what it says. All this beauty will rise to bless your sight, as you look upon the world with forgiving eyes. For forgiveness literally transforms vision and lets you see the real world, reaching quietly and gently across chaos and removing all illusions that had twisted your perception and fixed on the past. The smallest leaf becomes a thing of wonder, and the blade of grass a sign of God's perfection. From the forgiven world, the Son of God is lifted easily to his home, and there he knows that he has always rested there in peace. And the last section is this: even salvation will become a dream and vanish from his mind, for salvation is the end of dreams, and with the closing of the dream will have no meaning. Who awake in heaven could dream that there could ever be need of salvation? How much do you want salvation? It will give you the real world, trembling with readiness to be given you. The eagerness of the Holy Spirit to give you this is so intense. He would not wait, although he waits in patience. Meet his patience with your impatience and delay in meeting him. Go out in gladness to meet with your Redeemer and walk with him in trust out of this world and into the real world of beauty and forgiveness. All right, so that's the offering. And takes time to read this again and dive in it and sleep with it or do whatever you need to do with it. It's like literally say, let this be your inspiration for your motivation to become really like impatient to come to the end of your dream, to awaken out of it and to see the urgency that you're actually walking around with. It's like somewhere in the course it says like you live on borrowed time from heaven. Like you think it's very important to be here for yourself, but and being here, I mean, in your limited ideas, walking around in your limited ideas. But see, there's a possibility for you to get out of it and meet the new, say, whole world, the beauty of a forgiven world, with all its excitement and all its offering and all its completedness. So that is the offering. That's basically I'm so happy to read this and share this with you, because it's totally inspirational. I love to extend this. I love to join you in that love and loveliness, in that beauty. See, and the thing is, when you feel that from the inside, it's like, yes, you know that that's your home. Yes, you know that you're at home there, in that. And that it is your birthright. Like, you never left. So you're entitled to it. It's not like a privilege or anything. You're entitled to it because it is your truth. You know, it's the truth of who you are, where you enter into. So it's good to contemplate the idea of that you are being completely loved by God, by loving God yourself, and that this world of beauty is just so easy to get to, that it's like, that's good to remember too, and to really say receive for yourself. It is such a little step. It's so close. You're literally one thought away from it. You know, that is so interesting, and so that makes it also, you got to forgive yourself too, and be patient with yourself in that. So, okay, so this is it. Thank you so much for your attention, for being part of this and being present here with me. And so in the class, in this miracle sessions, we have the possibility to engage with one another, just ask questions or share something, or however you feel at this moment. Or maybe you just want to be quiet and enter deeper into this, what you just heard. So thank you so much.